Through shadows of the names I wore, stories drift across my shore. Each reflection blurs away, leaving truth that wants to stay. Somewhere quiet, something calls beyond the masks, beyond these walls. Unfolding layers, one by one, not who I was, but who's become. If all I've known begins to fade, then I'll be found in what's remade. Dreams once borrowed lose their weight, empty hands can navigate. No map to where the soul begins, only stillness lives within. Soft surrender, gentle breath, waking life from inner depths. Unfolding layers, one by one, not who I was, but who's become. If all I've known begins to fade, then I'll be found in what's remade. No crown, no name, no borrowed flame, just pure being without claim. And in that space the self is clear. The one I sought was always here. I've been running all this time, holding dreams that weren't truly mine. I see my face, but not my eyes. Forgot the fire that's been inside. Tonight I stop the pretending and listen to what my heart is sending. I hear the voice I found in the quiet without a sound. Every question, every fear brings me closer, brings me near to the real me I've always been. Yeah, I hear the voice I found again. A voice feels like home, saying you're never alone. The world may fade, but here I stay. I found my truth along the I hear the voice I found in the quiet without a sound. Every question, every fear brings me closer, brings me near to the real me I've always been. Yeah, I hear the voice I found again. I finally understand. The voice I found will guide my voices in my head. I try to listen to my heart. It says you don't have to run again. I've been strong for everyone, forgot how to rest for me. Now I'm learning how to breathe without trying to be free. This is a tune for the heart, a place where I can let go. No pretending, no control, just peace I've longed to know. It's not about being whole, it's just a tune for the heart. Some days I feel so empty, but I guess that's how we grow. Not every step has to be fast. Sometimes stillness helps me know I don't need a perfect plan. I just need to feel alive. Even silence holds my hand and tells me you'll be fine. This is a tune for the heart, a place where I can slow down. No rush, no heavy goals, just to stay here now. It's not about control, it's just a tune for the heart. In quiet times, the truth feels near. A gentle voice replaces fear. No need to rush, no need to try. The answer lives behind my eyes. In the silence, I can see the person I'm meant to be. Tracing my essence beyond the names, beyond the form. I find my presence, a part of me that's always warm. With every breath, with every lesson, I'm tracing my essence. The masks I wore are fading slow. The light inside begins to show. I'm not my past, I'm not the pain. I'm the calm that still remains. In the stillness, I align. I feel the peace that once was mine. Tracing my essence beyond the names, beyond the form. I find my presence, a part of me that's always warm. With every breath, with every lesson, I'm tracing my essence. No need to plan, no need to chase. My soul already knows the way. Each heartbeat tells me who I am. A quiet love that never ends. Tracing my essence, the truest part I've come to know. In every moment, my inner light begins to show. every breath, with every lesson. I'm tracing my essence. Now I see, so clear and free, the realest me inside of me. I've stopped chasing what already left. The silence taught me how to breathe again. Control dissolved without a trace. What stays no longer needs my hand. I open the space where holding ends, and peace walks in unannounced. No battle, no bargain, no name, just stillness wearing my skin. Once I called it loss, now I call it lightness. The weight of wanting fell away. Every goodbye carved a doorway, and I finally stepped through. There's beauty in the undone thread, in what never asked to return. I learned to rest inside the pause, where life moves without demand. I open the space where holding ends, and peace walks in unannounced. No battle, no bargain, no name, just stillness wearing my skin. Even in release. I'm sorry for the wounds I carry quietly, for the weight that clung to my bones long after the night was gone. Please forgive me as I loosen every shadow, as I open the doors of my spirit to let the old stories fall away. Thank you for the light that circles me softly, for the unseen grace that gathers me back into myself. In the hush between my heartbeats, in the shimmering breath where I fade and become again. For years I tried to find a way, through voices telling me to change, but truth was never far from me. It lived beneath what I believed. A whisper rose from quiet ground, no words, no sound, yet so profound. It didn't speak in hope or fame, just silence calling my name. Now I remember why I came, not to win, not to be known, but to bring one spark of home into every heart I've ever met. That is my mending, that is my thread. I thought my worth was what I gave, but grace was gentle, soft and brave. It showed me love that doesn't fade, the kind that's born when all is laid. Now I remember why I came, not to shine above the crowd, but to light what's dim around. Every breath a vow unspoken, every soul a door reopened. I am not chasing anymore, I am what I was searching for. The mission was never far away, it lived inside my quiet faith. Now I remember why I came, not to change the sky or sea, but to live what love taught me. And when the silence called my name, I finally became the quiet within me. Carried shadows far too long, memories heavy as unfinished lines. But tonight the silence softens, and something in me finally loosens. I release the stories I guarded like fragile glass, letting them fall into the quiet. Here is where I stop holding yesterday, where my hands let go of what they were never meant to keep. The weight steps back and I breathe differently. This is where I stop holding yesterday. If tomorrow brings storms, they can come and go. My pulse is lighter now, and I'm done being a home for what no longer lives in me. Here is where I stop holding yesterday. I choose the gentle rise of hope. asking who I'd be alone. I walk through doubts like open seas, let them pull me out ashore. Every fear became a sign pointing to a deeper door. I wasn't lost, I was shedding skin, learning how to begin. I'm not searching for a crown, I'm remembering my flame. Every scar is proof of life, every crack repeats my name. I was never meant to stay the same, I was born to transform. This is not my final form, I'm the shape I was becoming. I met myself in quiet ruins, where the old me learned to fall. What I buried started breathing like a voice I couldn't stall. I stopped chasing distant lights, turned my eyes to what was true. In the dark I found the code of the mission pulling through. If I break, let it be open. If I fall, let it be deep. The soul knows where it's going when the heart is kept awake. I'm not searching for a crown, I'm remembering my flame. I release who I outgrew to become who I became. This is not my final form, I am more than what I've known. I don't walk toward the light, I am learning to come home. I am the shape I was becoming. I am the shape I was becoming. Yesterday lingers softly in the corners of my mind, carrying questions carved from fears I once hid. My longing glows like a trembling lantern, revealing quiet places where my soul learns how to breathe again. In the wide terrain of doubts without names, the wind arranges my thoughts into patient constellations. I follow their subtle geometry, not to flee the night, but to understand why the darkness keeps remembering me. Somewhere between breaking apart and gathering myself, a doorway stirs open, not outside my life, but deep within the fragile center of who I am. This is the path that leads to you, God. A road woven from storms that soften instead of destroying me. A bridge shaped by tears that slowly learn to shine. A compass formed from ancient prayers I carried unknowingly. Every wound that transformed in a quiet light was your hand writing in the spaces between breaths, guiding me home before I ever understood what home meant. And I meet my reflection dressed in the dreams I once abandoned, whispering that truth begins where illusions finally fall away. So I plant my longing in the soil of surrender and watch grace rise like morning across forgotten ruins. The more I release the person I pretended to be, the clearer your fingerprints appear on every moment I survived. This is the path that leads to you, God. A journey measured not by distance, but by the awakening of light inside my wounds. If I lose direction again, let stillness lift my hand. For even in breathless quiet, your presence glows, cold hidden beneath the dust of everyday moments. place my soul has been moving toward all this time. I can feel something calling me deep inside. It's been there all along, a task I'm meant to carry out. Not a choice, but my soul's own vow. I walk on following this call, not for praise, not for fame at all. My steps are guided by something greater. I'll keep going until the work is over. Sometimes I doubt and lose my way. Sometimes I fall and want to stay, but that voice keeps reminding me this is the road I'm meant to see. I'm not the owner of this fate, I'm just the keeper of its weight. I'll keep moving strong and true until the promise is carried through. I walk on following this call, not for praise, not for fame at all. My steps are guided by something greater. I'll keep going until the work is over. I walk on following this call, not for praise, not for fame at all. My steps are guided by something greater. I'll keep going until the work is over. One day I'll know and understand that I fulfilled what my soul had planned.